When does loyalty take a back seat to championship pragmatism? And what does it say about the Dodgers' relentless pursuit of perfection that they're already hunting for a replacement before their playoff hero has even finished rehabbing from a devastating injury? Good afternoon, Dodger Nation. It's Friday, January 16th, 2026. And if you thought the celebration over landing Kyle Tucker was going to last more than 24 hours, you clearly don't understand how Andrew Friedman operates. Because while the rest of the baseball world is still processing the Dodgers' $240 million bombshell, the front office is already dealing with their next crisis. Kiké Hernández, the October legend, the clutch performer who's delivered some of the biggest hits in recent Dodgers playoff history, just revealed that his elbow surgery was far more serious than anyone knew. And according to Jeff Passan at ESPN, the Dodgers have already identified his replacement, Brendan Donovan from the St. Louis Cardinals, with a reported 75% chance of a trade happening. Let's start with the bad news, because Kiké's revelation is genuinely concerning. In his own words, they went in thinking it would be an extensive release, and when they got in there, they realized I had torn that thing completely off the bone. That's not a minor procedure. That's not a quick fix. That's a significant injury that's going to keep him out for 1 or 2 months next year. And for a 34-year-old free agent coming off a major surgery, that's a career-altering situation. The Dodgers love Kike. The fan base loves Kike. He's a playoff hero, a versatile defender, and a clubhouse leader. But the reality is harsh. The Dodgers can't enter a championship defense season with a hole on their bench and a question mark about when or if their super utility player will be ready to contribute. So what's the solution? Brendan Donovan. And if you've been following along with our previous coverage, you know this name has come up before. We discussed him extensively when the Dodgers were exploring ways to add depth and versatility to their roster. But now, with Kiké's injury confirmed, Donovan has gone from nice to have to need to have. And according to Jeff Passan, the Dodgers' a primary suitor and the Cardinals, despite not being eager to move him, are listening because the market is boiling over with interest. Let's talk about what Brendan Donovan brings to the table, because this isn't just about replacing Kiké's roster spot. This is about upgrading the consistency. Donovan is 28 years old, coming off a career year where he hit .287 with a .353 on-base percentage. He made his first All-Star team. He's a switch hitter who can play second base, third base, and left field. Exactly the same versatility that made Kike so valuable. But here's the key difference. Donovan is a more consistent regular season hitter. He doesn't have Kiké's legendary playoff clutch gene. Honestly, who does? But he's a guy you can count on for 140-plus games, quality at-bats, and solid defense at multiple positions. That's incredibly valuable for a team chasing a three-peat. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. This feels cold. Kiké Hernández is a beloved figure. He's delivered some of the most iconic moments in recent Dodgers history. And here we are, talking about his replacement before he's even finished rehabbing. But this is professional baseball. This is a business. And the Dodgers are in the business of winning championships. They can't afford sentimentality. When there's a three-peat on the line, Kike will always be a Dodgers legend. But if his injury creates a vulnerability, Andrew Friedman is going to address it. That's what elite organizations do. They don't wait for problems to become crises. They act proactively. And here's the strategic brilliance of targeting Donovan. Unlike a rental player who's only under control for 1 year, Donovan has multiple years of team control remaining. That means the Dodgers aren't just solving a 2026 problem. They're adding a long-term piece who can contribute for years. And with Kyle Tucker now in right field, Tommy Edman returning from his own injury, and the potential addition of Donovan, The Dodgers' depth would be absurd. Their bench would be better than most teams' starting lineups. That's the kind of organizational depth that allows you to survive the grind of a 162-game season and still have fresh legs for October. Let's talk about the cost, because acquiring Donovan isn't going to be free. The Cardinals want pitching, they want prospects, and they want a return that reflects Donovan's value as a versatile, controlled asset. But here's the thing. The Dodgers have exactly what St. Louis needs. They've got a loaded farm system even after all their recent moves. They've got young pitchers who are close to big league ready. And if trading a couple of mid-tier prospects means adding a player who can contribute at multiple positions for the next 3 or 4 years, that a trade Andrew Friedman makes 10 times out of 10. Jeff Passan's report notes that the Cardinals aren't eager to trade Donovan, but the market is forcing their hand. Multiple teams are calling. The price is rising. And the Dodgers, being the Dodgers, are positioned to outbid everyone. Not necessarily with the biggest package, but with the smartest package. The combination of prospects and big league ready talent that gives St. Louis exactly what they need to continue their own rebuild. Now, let's talk about roster construction, because adding Donovan creates fascinating flexibility. With Kyle Tucker locked into right field, Mookie Betts at shortstop, and Freddie Freeman at first base, the Dodgers have their core position set. But second base, third base, and the outfield corners all have some fluidity. Tommy Edman can play multiple spots. Donovan can play multiple spots. Max Muncy is still around. Gavin Lux is in the mix. Suddenly, the Dodgers have the ability to mix and match based on matchups, rest days, and hot hands. That's the kind of roster depth that wins championships. That's the kind of flexibility that allows you to navigate injuries, slumps, and inevitable chaos of a long season. And let's be real. If the Dodgers add Brendan Donovan, their bench becomes a legitimate weapon. Imagine you're an opposing manager in a playoff series. You got a game plan for Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and Tucker in the starting lineup. But then in the 7th inning, the Dodgers bring Donovan off the bench for a key at-bat, and he works a walk or delivers a clutch hit. That's demoralizing. That's the kind of depth that breaks teams. And that's exactly what the Dodgers are building. So where does this leave Kiké Hernández? Honestly, it's unclear. He's a free agent. He's coming off major surgery. And while the Dodgers love him, while they probably welcome him back on a minor league deal with an invitation to spring training, the reality is that his role has been replaced. Brendan Donovan is younger, healthier, and under team control. That's just the cold, hard truth of professional sports. Legends fade. New stars emerge. And organizations that want to win championships can't afford to be sentimental. But let's also acknowledge what Kiké has meant to this franchise. He's a champion. He's a warrior. He's delivered in the biggest moments. And even if his time as a Dodger is coming to an end, his legacy is secure. The fans will always remember the clutch hits, the versatility, the energy. That doesn't go away just because the team is moving on. That's the bittersweet reality of professional sports. So where does this leave us? Well, the Dodgers have identified Brendan Donovan as the solution to their Kiké Hernández problem. Jeff Passan reports a 75% chance of a trade happening. The Cardinals are listening, and Andrew Friedman has the assets to make it happen. If this deal goes through, the Dodgers will have added Kyle Tucker and Brendan Donovan in the span of 48 hours, turning an already elite roster into something historically dominant. And if you're a fan of the other 29 teams, if you're watching the Dodgers continue to stockpile talent while your team is counting pennies, then yeah, this probably feels unfair. But that's the reality of modern baseball. The Dodgers have the resources, the infrastructure, and the ruthless commitment to winning that separates dynasties from pretenders. If this breakdown cleared up the Kike situation and explained the Donovan pursuit, do me a favor. Hit that like button and drop a comment below. Do you think the Dodgers should trade for Brendan Donovan, even if it means moving on from Kiké Hernández? Let me know what you think, because this is a kind of tough decision that defines championship organizations. And I want to hear from every single one of you. Let's go, Dodgers.